worked with orphanages. I worked with madarsas. Now tell me which communal color would you want to give me? And I've been chosen by BJP. It is a wrong notion that these people would want to continuously throw onto BJP. आप बताइए, when so many schemes were sanctioned by Modi ji as Prime Minister, कौन सा स्कीम ये लेके आगे बढ़ रहा है? ये सिर्फ हिंदू के लिए है. ऐसा तोड़ी जाता है लोगों के बीच में कोई स्कीम. It's high time that BJP cannot be given this color. Yes, we all stand to be true Hindus and we believe in Hindutvam, because at all points of time Sanatan Dharma says you have to be truthful. Otherwise, you please tell me, why would he go all the way abolishing triple talaq? Why would we struggle so much? Because he only has seen the tears of a Muslim woman. And where does all this communal color even come? No, they're scared. They're scared that BJP would sweep. So obvious. That's how, I'm new to politics, but I believe that's how, people start making, quotes and comments in politics which are not true. But the truth is, सबका साथ. मोदी जी ने तोड़ी क्या है? हिंदू का साथ. सबका साथ क्या है ना उन्होंने? सबका साथ. तो सबका साथ मतलब सबका साथ. हिंदू, मुसलमान, क्रिश्चियन, सारे सिख, बौद्ध, जैन, जितने भी लोग हैं, सबका साथ.
Well, you say you're new to politics, but you sound quite seasoned already, Madhavi ji. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. That stays with me. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very, very best. Former chairperson of the Virinchi Hospital, a famed dancer and performer herself, now into the foray, taking on Asaduddin Owaisi in the old city of Hyderabad in Lok Sabha 2024. Thank you for speaking with us. With that, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand. Zakar ready with brass tacks. Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakar Jacob. DMK MP and former Union Minister A. Raja is at it again. This time, he's once again insulted followers of the Hindu faith of Sanatan Dharma and Ram Bhaks by calling them chi idiots. Raja was speaking at a function to mark the birthday of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. Now, coincidentally, Raja's comments have come to light just a day after the Supreme Court, no less, wrapped Stalin Jr., Udayanidhi Stalin, for his comments comparing Sanatan Dharma to dengue, malaria and cholera. Raja is a repeat offender. He has said disparaging things about Sanatan Dharma in the past as well. There is a Supreme Court ruling which has underlined the law against hate speech in this country. From the comments that he made at this function 3 days ago, should A. Raja be prosecuted for hate speech?
எங்களை பொறுத்தவரை HIV தொழுநோயை போல HIV போல சமூகத்து அவலம் நிறைந்த ஒரு நோயாகத்தான் நம்ம பார்க்கிறோம். சனாதனத்தை மீறி ஊர் சுத்துற ஒரு ஆளு சனாதனத்தை காப்பாற்றுகிறது சொல்றது எவ்வளவு பெரிய அயோக்கியத்தனம். ஆனால் நீ சொல்லுகிற கடவுள் இந்த கடவுள் என்றால், இதுதான் ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம் என்றால், இதுதான் பாரத மாதா கி ஜெய் என்றால், அந்த ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராமனையும் பாரத மாதாவையும் ஒருபோதும் நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள மாட்டோம். தமிழ்நாடு ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளாது. மனித நல்லிணக்கம் என்று சொன்னால் நீ சொல்ற ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம் சி இடியட்.
I don't think any of us support a statement like that. I denounce it. I believe Ram belongs to everybody, and I do believe that statements should be made with a lot more responsibility than they sometimes are in public life.
राहुल गांधी जी, आपने ना उस समय कुछ बोला ना आज आप कुछ बोला. इसका मतलब ये जो डिवाइडिंग माइंडसेट ऑफ खानदान है, इसके साथ आप खड़े हैं. कांग्रेस पार्टी उनके साथ खड़ी है, क्योंकि कांग्रेस की भी यही मानसिकता है.
So first, Raja said that Sanatan Dharma is like leprosy. There is no treatment for it. Today, he has now called Ram Bhaks and Sanatan Dharmis as chi idiots. Let's take you through what the Supreme Court underlined, what it said about hate speech in this country. This was back in October of 2022. He said, the court said, don't wait for complaints to act against hate speech. Initiate criminal proceedings against all those who are the makers of hate speech. The situation is to try and attract contempt proceedings against even errant officers who do not take cognizance of hate speech. It was reiterated in yet another judgment in 2023, where the court said it's a serious breach not to discourage a climate that fosters hate. In April 2023, the court said hate speech will attract IPC section 153A, which is promoting enmity between communities, and 153B, which is prejudicial to national integration. 505 for invoking public mischief, and 295A for outraging religious feelings. In August of 2023, the court in another judgment said that hate speech will be prosecuted equally, no matter what the faith of the offender, no matter which faith he is offending. And as recently as January of this year, the court has said that authorities have to be conscious against any kind of incitement to violence and hate speech. So, the question we're asking is, this is not the first time that A. Raja has said disparaging things about Sanatan Dharm. Should he be prosecuted as per the law of the land? Nalin Kohli is national spokesperson of the BJP. Ghanshyam Tiwari is spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Suman C. Raman is a political analyst and author, and Ratan Sharda, RSS thinker and author. Nalin Kohli, first things first, what Mr. Raja has said, or at least what he was trying to say, the import of it is that there is a distinction between the Ramayana that's known in North India and the Ramayana that's known in South India. And according to him, the Kamba Ramayanam, which is the one written in Tamil, in that Lord Ram does not distinguish between people of a lower caste and that of a higher caste. Raja says Jai Shree Ram makes that distinction. That is the import of what he's trying to say.
Well, he didn't use very elegant language to point out to this so-called import, did he? Whatever translation is available, since I'm not native Tamil speaking or understand Tamil, but chi and all that sort of words, I think I find it ironical what's happening in the DMK. In fact, on the day Mr. Raja's speech becomes so viral, please note yesterday, the Honorable Supreme Court came down heavily on Udayagiri Stalin for considering Sanatan Dharm to be a disease. And this Honorable Court verbally remarked also that you cross your limits of freedom of expression and speech, and then you come running to the Supreme Court because you've got FIRs across the country for hurting people's sentiments. And amazingly and most ironically, on social media, I was seeing a video of no less than Mr. Stalin and his better half, his wife, performing Sanatan Puja before a temple, before some lord or goddess. So I really would like to ask the question. I mean, this whole tirade against Sanatan Dharm, why the Chief Minister and his wife are going and praying before a temple. So then where does Mr. Udayagiri Stalin's views come? Vis-a-vis the first family of Tamil Nadu. Okay. And where does Mr. Raja's comments come then? Vis-a-vis the first family of Tamil Nadu. It's deplorable, the kind of language being used on Sanatan Dharm. And who gave them the authority to use this language against Sanatan Dharm? You want to practice it, you don't want to practice it, it's your choice. I mean, it's okay. Sanatan Dharma is wide enough to accept even the non-believers. But who has given him the right to run down somebody else's belief? And in the most crude language. That is the core question. And beyond Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu politics and the first family of Tamil Nadu, the DMK, what about Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the India Alliance? Where do they stand with their allies running down Sanatan Dharma? For the so-called Shiv Bhaks and the Ram Bhaks that we have in the Congress party, particularly close to elections, where do they stand on this?
No, so
and why should Sanatan Dharma be run down like this?
Ghanshyam Tiwari, the point is, we saw this in the winter elections in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, when Udayanidhi Stalin made those comments comparing Sanatan Dharma to cholera and dengue and it should be eradicated and so on. While it may or may not have an impact in Tamil Nadu and perhaps even in southern India, you clearly saw the impact in northern India, in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. why then are your allies, ostensibly the DMK is a very important member of the India alliance, continuing to make such statements? Mr. Raja has abused Ram Bhaks and Sanatan Dharmis, calling them chi idiots.
Good evening, Zaka, to you, the viewers and fellow co-panelists. I think one thing is clear, that Supreme Court has communicated a viewpoint, and that viewpoint is with respect to hate speech, and what Mr. Stalin said, or with what A Raja has said, will be looked at with the same lens. So let them face the music and the law of the land when it comes to Supreme Court taking cognizance of it. And talking about Supreme Court verdict, I think what A Raja has done is given a easy opportunity for BJP to distract what is the most important public agenda of today facing the Modi government. The massive loot that is there in the form of electoral bonds that BJP wants to hide, where the SBI, apparently the new Modi ji ka parivar, is going to the court and saying that after elections they will tell who are the crony capitalists who donated thousands of crores of BJP, and we will piece together 14,56,000 crores that they wrote off as NPA, 10,122 crores that BJP got in donations between 2016 and 2022, and SBI going to the court and saying we don't want people of India to know who is donating.
Just one small thing that I want to underline, Ghanshyam. The comments made by Raja were made on 1st of March. It was made on Mr. Stalin's birthday. The SBI submission to the Supreme Court happened yesterday, which is the 4th of March. So just the timeline factor that I wanted to underline. Yeah, that's all.
This story, which has no relevance to people of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, people of India, where people are committing suicide because they don't have jobs. They are burning their degree in front of camera and committing suicide. Where daughters are harassed, and BJP puts out a list of candidates ranging from Pawan Singh to Upendra Singh Rawat to Ravi Kishan to Nirahua to Manoj Tiwari to Braj Bhushan Sharan Singh, people who openly stand for against women of India. This is the A list of BJP.
No, but you are saying that these comments by Raja do not have any bearing to millions of people in Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, that people of the Hindu faith will not be bothered by what Raja has said? Is that what you're saying?
This Raja Rani hate speech will not affect people because they are burdened. The youth are suffering because of daily exam leaks that BJP has put on them.
Okay.
They created a fake narrative that we have given 44 crore mudra loans that Nalin Kohli cannot back, that two of your viewers can't call back and say they got mudra loans. With such fake narratives, they have destroyed the future of youth. They have destroyed the self-confidence of women by candidates like Pawan Singh and Upendra Rawat. These are the burning issues.
Let me ask Dr. Sumant Raman this. You know, Raja may be playing to his own constituency, maybe playing to a certain narrow and divisive politics in Tamil Nadu, and maybe that will work for him. The problem is this whole trying to make a distinction between what Kamba Ramayanam says and what Valmiki Ramayanam says and the caste system and all of that has no relevance or resonance outside of Tamil Nadu. More importantly, it causes hurt. It causes political hurt. It causes emotional and religious hurt to crores of Ram Bhaks, to crores of followers of Sanatan Dharma. And yet Raja, the DMK, Udayanidhi Stalin, others from the party and from the wider left ecosystem in Tamil Nadu politics, they continue to abuse Sanatan Dharma.
Yeah. Zaka, you have yourself eloquently explained how the same incident or similar incidents are being repeated time and time again, starting with Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin's comment on Sanatan Dharma, followed by the DMK MP Senthil Kumar calling the North Indian states as Gaumutra states. And this has been a series. So to me, it seems inconceivable that the DMK is unaware of the damage this can cause to their own alliance partner. I think once it is possible that they may have been caught napping, but now it has become a pattern. So the only way I can explain it is they are doing it to somehow help the BJP. For what reason, one cannot speculate.
Why would they do that? They are tooth and nail opposed to the BJP in Tamil Nadu.
No, Zaka, the perception that people have in Tamil Nadu is quite different from what you say. Every day they spout fire at each other, but basically they have an absolutely fine equation, especially the BJP High Command has with the first family of Tamil Nadu. I think everybody knows this. This has been speculated for months on end. And that is, I mean, I can point out 20 reasons why I'm making this statement, but there's no time for that. Coming
Okay.
back to this particular topic, do you mean to say Mr. Raja may be anything, but he's not dumb. He knows exactly how this would play out on national media, and they've had runs before. They've just had this whole thing happen 3 months ago and 6 months ago with similar speeches, where they called, he said, Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated, like dengue, malaria, and so on. So they know exactly what damage this will cause to the Congress. This is not going to cause the DMK any damage. They know that as well. This will appeal to their base in Tamil Nadu. So if they consistently and repeatedly take the same line, you tell me, what else could it be due to?
Okay.
You
No,
tell me
forget
one
about
good reason.
the politics of it. Ratan Sharda, I just outlined at the start of this show the number of instances where the Supreme Court has underlined that there is a law of the land against hate speech, that there are sections of the IPC which explicitly deal with hate speech and which need to be invoked. It has time and time again taken either state governments or even the central government to task for not taking visible action against hate speech. Here you have this instance, even yesterday, with all respect to the court said what it said about, and these are the comments of the court in the context of Udayanidhi Stalin. You abuse your Article 19, you abuse Article 25, you're not a layman, you're a minister, you should know the consequences of your utterances. But what action have they taken? These are just grandiose statements. The hurt that's been caused ostensibly by the comments made by Udayanidhi Stalin or by Raja's comments today, what is the visible action that you're taking for the law of the land being violated?
Well, Saka, with all due respect, I'm not very hopeful of what courts and the governments can do. When Udayanidhi was rapped on the knuckle, was these sections evoked by the Supreme Court? They were not. Naturally, they were not, because he was just rapped on the knuckle. But when Nupur Sharma was caught quoting something which is there in Hadith, she was made to do whatever, not the way she was abused by the courts, by the people, the way her life was, totally unlivable. Who did it? Under the nose of the same law, under the nose of same sections of the law. So I think this is one-sided application of law when anybody can walk away by abusing Hindus. But if nobody has guts to abuse any other religion, not even criticize it legitimately. So whether we are being even-handed in the name of secularism, I do not know. And as far as Raja is concerned, see, understand DMK comes from the root of DK, which has continuously been anti-Hindu, which has the history of beating Ram, Sita and Lakshman statues with chappals, garlanding them with chappals, abusing them from Periya's time. Only during Karunanidhi's time, he played a little sophisticated, politics, and he saw to it that he only talks about developmental issues, keeps away from religious issues. This Stalin, the new avatar of DK, has gone back to that particular position, and it's very easy for Sumant Raman to even sidestep it and put the blame back on BJP, which is very ridiculous, and I think he should be ashamed of making such a kind of statement rather than condemning it totally. He didn't condemn once. He just says it is by design. So by design, he will keep on saying Hindus.
Condemn it
the entire DK, Mr. Sumant Raman, I respect you. Do not speak in between.
One at a time.
Raman,
Let him finish. Yeah,
Raman, it doesn't suit you. I respect your law.
Let Ratan Sharda finish, please. Yeah.
It is not the way to get into debate and CNN keep on interrupting. Go ahead, you speak then.
No, you
Go ahead,
finish.
defend more DMK.
Ratanji, you
defend
finish.
DMK more.
No, Ratanji, you finish. After that, Dr. Raman, yeah.
See, I worry about Congress. Congress day in, day out has been defending Sanatan Dharma ko khatam karo, Shree Ramchandra aise nahi. Every kind of statement that DMK makes, why does Congress jump into saving them? Why does Congress support them? Every debate I go, they will somehow try to defend, knowing that is going to affect them all over India. And sorry, I forgot your name, my dear friend, Ghanshyam ji, he says that itne sare issue hai, bahut sare issue hai. Who stopped you from debating on the issues? Why do your leaders, whom you could not dismiss, then they went away from your party, like SP Maurya, you never defended them, you never supported, criticized them. You had people like Azam who called Bharat Mata Ki Jai. He is part of the Samajwadi Party. So this continuous ridiculing Bharat Mata, insulting Hindus, insulting gods, that has become a typical secular way of speaking to a particular section of the society and trying to damage the entire social fabric.
Let Dr. Raman quick response, and then after that I'll go back to Nalin Kohli.
Quick response.
I think that's a fair point. Ram is there in your name, Dr. Raman. At least you should condemn what Raja said.
1 second. I have been condemning such speeches only for the last 30 years. Everybody in Tamil Nadu knows that I have stridently.
But why put the blame on BJP then?
But let me tell you, it was years and years after many such speeches were made that the BJP got into an alliance with the same DMK, and they were cabinet colleagues of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government. So let's not talk, Mr. Ratan Sharda. You had no problems with the same speeches 15-20 years ago when you were in alliance with the same party.
No, but that was 20 years ago, Dr. Raman. Surely in this day and age, the Modi BJP or the Amit Shah BJP is not going to ally with the DMK. Surely you know that.
No, Mr. Raman, did they ever dare
But
speak
anyway.
that language during BJP alliance? Please tell me.
Gods with chappals.
They never used these words when they were in tie with the
Yes,
BJP.
that happened in the
BJP
60s, in the
controls such
50s and the
stupid
60s.
statement that
Okay,
controls such
let me go to Nalin Kohli. 1 second. Gentlemen, with your permission, I'm going back to Nalin Kohli. Two points to please rebut. One, what Ghanshyam Tiwari said, that the biggest issues facing this country are exam paper leaks and, misogynist candidates being put up by the BJP. You're not focused on these issues. Even SBI saying, we have to go through our computers, we have to go through our software because we can't find out, who are the electoral bond donors. I mean, these are the issues, according to him, which need to be debated, number one. And number two, the point that Dr. Raman made, this is a pattern, and surely a pattern has to be some kind of an understanding between the BJP and the DMK.
So let's start with Dr. Raman's comment. When you don't have any argument left, you build on the conspiracy theory. And respectfully, I don't know how Dr. Raman has worked this out, conspiracy theory. In that way, you can have a conspiracy theory on anything and everything under the world, because it's a conspiracy theory. So I don't agree with him. I mean, it's quite funny, in fact, to even suggest that the BJP and the DMK have a secret alliance so that the DMK goes and abuses Lord Ram so that the BJP can get benefit. It just doesn't make sense. If you would just look at the work of Annamalai, our state president, he's been vociferously taking on the DMK, the Honorable Prime Minister himself. But that's okay. I think Dr. Raman was trying to build a narrative. I don't agree with that narrative. In fact, I don't think it's founded on any fact. It is just a conspiracy theory, and it needs to be rejected at that level. The second point is related to Ghanshyam Tiwari.
Yeah.
So Ghanshyam ji is raising the point that these are the real issues. Who stopped you from taking it to the people? But why is it when the India Alliance meets and his supreme leader, Akhilesh ji, is there with Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, Lalu ji attacks the Prime Minister's family? So, who stopped you from raising these questions? Why are you raising these kind of points? The point is, these are points that Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, his other colleagues raise on TV debates. Because when they go to the public with this, the public doesn't believe them, because this narrative is their desire. It's not based on any fact. And honestly, for a minute, let's pause. Zaka, you've been senior in journalism for a long time. I've handled several elections. I'm sure the others on this panel also have. Does the public ever vote for somebody they are unhappy with? So I mean, well, let's go. Unemployment is a big issue, so the youth is voting for the BJP. Women are most unhappy, so the women are voting for the BJP. What is this narrative? Even the most basics of political people understand that people vote for whom they wish to see running the government. And if the BJP has won 14 under Prime Minister Modi, won the election of 19 with a higher majority, and is expected to win 24 again in Prime Minister Modi's leadership with an even higher majority, it just confirms that the voters see and they resonate with the positive work of the government.
Okay.
And Mr. Tiwari, for all his desire to say that these are the people's issues, why are his leaders not raising the people's issues? Why are they picking up the so-called side issues?
Okay.
He needn't give that advice to us.
So,
he needs to go home and give it to Akhilesh ji.
When leaders of the India Alliance meet, they talk about caste census. Today, Rahul Gandhi, somewhere in as part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, he's saying they'll make you chant Ram's name until you starve. If you believe the biggest issues are exam paper leak and alleged misogyny of the BJP, then go to the people with that. The fact that the people are voting for BJP again and again, Nalin Kohli contends, is a reiteration of the fact that people are happy with the BJP. These issues are not finding resonance among the people. That's his contention.
Zaka, your viewers watched. Neither Ratan Sharda ji nor Nalin Kohli ji, both are eloquent. Both have been on debates, hundreds of debates. Could not repeat two words: electoral bonds, SBI. There is no justification. This is massive loot of public trust. That you, in a day of computerization...
Hold on, I'm not the spokesperson for SBI.
I did not interrupt anybody.
Why would I speak for SBI? I'm neither their lawyer nor their spokesperson. I'll speak for the BJP.
One second. Let Ghanshyam finish. Ghanshyam.
What is this massive loot?
No, I just must clarify it. I'm sorry to interrupt because I don't like to interrupt, but I'm not the spokesperson of SBI and I'm certainly not their lawyer. So why should I speak about it?
I did not interrupt you. 10,122
of course,
crores.
I don't mean to interrupt.
2022. ये पैसा किसकी लूट का पैसा है? Can anybody say a pie of where this money came from? And on what Laluji said, obviously Braj Bhushan Sharan Singh went and said Modi ji ka parivar. Smriti Irani said Modi ji ka parivar. If Braj Bhushan Sharan Singh is Modi ji ka parivar and Smriti Irani is Modi ji ka parivar, तो Vinesh Phogat, who had family picture with Narendra Modi ji, वो किसकी परिवार है? Did opposition force Pawan Singh to become a candidate? No, BJP gave him a candidate. The man insulted every daughter of Bengal. And then you have Ravi Kishan, another candidate from Gorakhpur, lauded by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, who is insulting every daughter of India. Then you have Manoj Tiwari. Then you have Nirahua. Look at the filthy songs that these people sing on a daily basis. Compare it with Braj Bhushan. Everybody is writing Modi ji ka parivar. So on one end you have corporate loot in electoral bonds. The Supreme Court has said BJP is hiding. Then you have this misogynist when the entire country is outraged that how the Beti Bachao model has become Rapist Bachao model from Gujarat, where you had Bilkis Bano case, and yet those people have the audacity to go back to court and court again and again because they are powered by BJP. They are powered by
Ratanji, you know, I also tweeted about this that when the first list was announced by the BJP last Saturday, the likes of Sadhvi Pragya and Ramesh Biduri, who are known to be motor mouths, they were dropped, right? Good thing. But the BJP also renominated Ajay Mishra Teni. Tomorrow or day after, whenever the next list comes, will Brijbhushan Sharan Singh's ticket be cut or will he still end up getting the ticket? This is also a signal, a reaffirmation that, you know, people who make controversies, they won't be rewarded in the BJP. If he gets a ticket, then the message that goes across, Ratanji, is that, you know, we need him and we value his electoral contribution more than the controversy he brings to the government or to the party. Ratan Sharda.
Zaka, this question is better directed to Mr. Kohli because he is the spokesperson of BJP. I am not. When he talks about electoral bonds, he has every right to talk about electoral bond and he has to go to the public and expose BJP. Nobody stops him. But to say that only BJP benefited out of electoral bond, everybody benefited. Everybody could, whatever their extent, they took the money from this industrialists, whether parties from Odisha or Bengal or whichever. Is it that SP, by the principal side, will not take money from the electoral bonds? No, they didn't get it probably, or they got whatever they could. So that is not the issue. Issue is that what was earlier happening, black money was being used for elections. It was made legal, so you donate legally, and the way people are victimized or donating to different parties, we know that. So that is a different issue which is in the courts, which is the SBI. It is not with me, and that is an issue which has every right to go. Okay. But talking of various candidates, I am saying that BJP has declared a list of candidates. See to it that those who are such hateful candidates, they lose. Please put their entire effort to defeat them.
No, but
you have every right. BJP has at least corrected some of the wrongs.
Let me
BJP
ask.
at least corrected some of the. The point is, what is the alliance?
Yeah.
Alliance is only for winning the elections. No alliance partner speaks to each other. No alliance partner speaks for each other. No alliance partner condemns somebody else's statements. And those people make statements on the stage. These people make statements against everybody. Totally hateful narrative. And what these people are doing on the stage? Nothing.
No, so I also want to ask Dr. Sumant Raman. I mean, okay, let's go by whatever the DMK's logic is in this. Now, if the DMK's contention is they have a wider ambit for freedom of expression, which includes borderline abusing Hindu gods and followers of Hindu gods, why is the DMK government in the state so thin-skinned when it comes to criticism of its own? In June 2023, BJP leader S.G. Surya was arrested for a post claiming that DMK is curtailing free speech. In April 2023, the Supreme Court dismissed the Tamil Nadu government's plea against the Madras High Court, which had allowed the RSS to take out a procession. Right? In March 2023, a 23-year-old is arrested in Chennai for sharing a viral video that was critical of the DMK government's budget. Now, on the one hand, for your leaders, your party, the ambit of freedom of expression is wide, whereas people who criticize you, you pick them up and arrest them.
Zaka, I have been saying this for many years. Both the DMK and the BJP are two sides of the same coin. Both have divisive ideologies. It is just that their targets are different. And I've been maintaining this for decades. It's not just now that I've started to say this. I've been saying this for a long time. The bottom line is that the DMK's Dravidian ideology is a divisive ideology. It believes in creating an enemy, and it always needs that enemy to sustain itself. And therefore, you have anything which is Hindu, anything which is related to Hindi, anything related to North India, all of these will have to be demonized. If they don't demonize it, it sort of eats away from their ideology.
No,
So
but Dr. Raman, again, you know, by saying that Hindus need to be created an enemy of, are you saying that Hindus in Tamil Nadu do not vote for DMK?
They don't say Hindu.
You cannot become a ruling party with whatever number of seats they have, 150 or 159 or something.
1 second, Zaka.
If they are construed as an anti-Hindu party, as you are saying.
No. They disguise it as Brahminism that they oppose. They don't call it Hindus. But for all practical purposes, it is not only Brahmins who worship Hindu gods.
Of course.
The entire Hindu community versus Hindu god.
Yes.
But one more thing, Zaka, you also have to understand that today the DMK is in power in Tamil Nadu. It is because of the minority vote. They get an overwhelming proportion of the almost 14 to 15% minority vote in the state. And that is what gives them the edge over the AIADMK or the other parties in the state.
Dr. Raman, again, I find this a very, very convenient, almost superficial narrative. The total minority population in Tamil Nadu is not more than 12 or 15%. The remaining 85% is Hindu population. How can a party get 159 seats if it's just dependent on 15% of the population? It makes no sense.
Pardon me, Zaka. What was the difference between the DMK and the AIADMK in the last election?
In terms of number of seats, I think ADMK had 55 and 4%. DMK had 159. That's a massive difference. That's a wave election. But be that as it may, that's not the debate I'm getting into. I want to come back.
4%.
4% is a huge election. It's a wave election if there's a 4% gap between the two parties. But be that as it may, let me go back to Nalin Kohli. The point is, Nalin Kohli, that for whatever it is worth, DMK is hoping that likes of Raja, likes of Udayanidhi Stalin are cementing a stated position which stirs up their base, as Dr. Raman said. This is catered to their base. And frankly, they couldn't care about whether it costs the Congress in Madhya Pradesh or in Rajasthan or in Chhattisgarh or prospectively in the rest of North India in the Lok Sabha election. The point is, how are you going to grow in that state of Tamil Nadu, which you ostensibly want to, because I think the PM himself has gone to Tamil Nadu like some 5 or 6 times in the last 6 months.
On a positive agenda. That's how we would like to grow in the state of Tamil Nadu. Not on a divisive agenda, not on an agenda built around abusing Sanatan Dharma or any religion for that matter. Who gives the license to anybody to attack somebody else's faith in the most vile or the most harsh use of words as we are seeing it? So I think that is for the DMK to introspect. It is for them to decide how they would like to go before the people. But certainly, at the end of the day, what Ratan Sharda ji was pointing out in terms of other religions, he makes a very compelling point. Why this attack on Sanatan Dharma? I mean, this is not about attacking all religions. First, I'm saying none should be attacked. But then why specifically Sanatan Dharma? Because somewhere there must be a belief that we can abuse Sanatan Dharma and get away with it. That if we abuse Sanatan Dharma, at best it will be something told to us verbally, but we will not face any consequences.
All right.
So now the challenge that Mr. Raja or Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin may face is the invocation of 153A in the manner as conceptualized or enunciated by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Okay, we'll see
We
if
may
that
find
happens.
that instead of seeking
I have to
smaller things
wrap
like
up
club FIRs,
because we're completely out of time. But thank you very much for joining us, to all our guests. Like I said, this could play out in the political field, clearly in the Lok Sabha election. What kind of impact this will have in Tamil Nadu, beyond that we will closely track. And also, this is likely to play out in the legal field because the matter was before the Supreme Court as recently as yesterday. It will come up for hearing again, and whether the court takes cognizance of this also. This also pertains and falls under the ambit of hate speech. Well, I guess the ball is in the court's court, as it were. All right, let's shift focus to the other story. And again, it's also coming in from southern India. The political firestorm that has been burning over in Karnataka over the pro-Pakistan slogans that were raised after the victory of Congress MP Nasir Hussain in the Rajya Sabha elections. Now, 3 suspects have been arrested in connection with this case. The forensic report came and it confirmed that, yes, some individuals did chant pro-Pakistan slogans. The police say that witness testimonies, other evidence gave them enough room and enough evidence to book the suspects on charges of incitement and making remarks that are prejudicial to national integration. The Congress party had earlier accused the BJP of spreading false propaganda. Nasir Hussain had vehemently denied that anybody in his victory room, as it were, chanted any pro-Pakistan slogans. Now, reports suggest that the 3 suspects were given passes to the Vidhan Sauda by Hussein's office. Moreover, the Congress party is also on the back foot as images have now emerged of some of these accused with top Congress leaders, whether it is Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar, even Rahul Gandhi as part of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Like to meddle with the investigation of the police because it is a very serious issue. It is a pride of our country. We don't want the image of our country to be spoiled.
ನಾಸಿರ್ ಹುಸೇನ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಪರಾಧಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 4 ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, 2, 3 ಆಗಲೇ.
All right, I want to go across to Prashant GS, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, and Lokesh Jindal is a political analyst and a sympathizer of the Congress party. Lokesh Jindal, you know, the problem in this story is, I don't know in this day and age why anyone should be raising pro-Pakistan slogans, least of all the associates of a member of parliament who just got elected. This was at his victory sort of moment, as it were. And then that member of parliament in question goes on to deny that such a thing ever happened. And then the forensic report comes a week later, confirms that yes, pro-Pakistan slogans were indeed raised. So either the member of parliament in question was completely clueless about what was happening just a few feet away from him in that same room, or he was trying to hide what happened. He was trying to feign ignorance.
Yes, good evening, everybody. First of all, the member of parliament, if he would have had any idea that such form of sloganeering is going to take place, he would have taken strictest of the action, as even the chief minister stated immediately when the complaint was lodged, that if found true, he will take the strictest of the action. In fact, the party had outrightly condemned it, and you should appreciate that the police filed its case, free hand was given to the police, and subsequently the 3 perpetrators, they were arrested.
No, Mr. Jindal, one second. The 3 people who raised this slogan allegedly were standing within 2 feet of the MP in question. I wish we can show that footage. This was right after his result was announced. He was there. This was in the Vidhan Sauda complex. He was standing there. Right next to him, within 2 feet of him, these fellows were raising those slogans. A, how can the MP feign ignorance? And B, if he genuinely did not hear properly what was being said, at least he could have said that, look, you know, we'll take whatever action. Instead, he said, no such slogans were raised in the first place.
Well, Jacob, you are claiming that the denial by the member of parliament was a deliberate, planned denial, first to give some form of a freeway to the sloganeers. It's absolutely wrong. The member of parliament comes from the freedom fighters family. He's as much a patriot, a nationalist as you and me are. Now compare this to 2022 in Mandya, a BJP worker, he had raised pro-Pakistan slogans, Pakistan Zindabad. When the Pakistan Home Minister, when the Pakistan Foreign Minister, he had insulted the Prime Minister. At that point of time, BJP did not take any action. At least you must appreciate that Congress has come out with a action and has arrested those
So how is this any more different from the BJP worker in Mandya who 2 years ago raised this pro-Pakistan slogan? I believe recently he's been arrested. He's been arrested after the new government of the Congress came. And two, all kinds of characters come into contact with politicians. How can any politician take the guarantee for all kinds of sundry elements who want to either come and click a picture or seek an appointment or whatever it is that they have?
Zaka, I do agree that the politicians cannot probably control who is around them, but in this case, who have been caught have always been seen with the top leadership of Congress. Mohammad Ildas or whoever has been one of the accused and who's been arrested now has been consistently seen with Rahul Gandhi in his Bharat Todo Yatra. So this means this buck stops with the first family of Congress. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are directly answerable for this, saying only with their permission that these statements are being made and they're allowing it to happen, because you look at what is happening in Delhi with Congress. Mani Shankar Ayer and Salman Khurshid have the audacity to go to Pakistan and request Pakistan to say, help us in dislodging Modi. And Digvijay Singh was on record calling Hafiz Saeed the terrorist as Hafiz Sahib. So therefore, Congress has always feigned their interest towards Pakistan and being anti-India. We don't know why Congress is doing this. Fighting BJP on a political pitch is one thing, and being anti-India. We don't know why Congress is resorting to being anti-India to get some votes.
So, Lokesh Jindal,
come to the people, talk about development.
The pro-Pakistan slogans in this day and age is completely tone deaf, when everybody knows the sort of violent history between India and Pakistan. And if as you are saying, the Member of Parliament comes from a freedom fighter's family, then he should know and he should be utmost careful of who are these sundry elements who are surrounding him. And if they have raised, even if there's an allegation that they have raised pro-Pakistan slogans, he should be the first one coming forth and saying, go ahead and, prosecute these guys.
Well, last year we had a parliamentary attack where the passes were issued by BJP MP Pratap Simha. Now, please tell me, sir, did you subject Pratap Simha under the stringent provisions of UAPA? Did you make him responsible for the attack?
Lokesh Jindal, there's a lot of difference. People commenting as being pro-Pakistan versus some worker who would have taken pass from the Member of Parliament. They're completely different issues. You are sidetracking the issue now. When cornered with being pro-Pakistan, you are trying to deviate and say this happened, that happened. At that point in time, when Mr. Pratap Simha issued the pass, it was never for any anti-India event. And the moment it was discovered about the people who attacked the parliament or entered there, action was taken against
but Mr. Prashant, once again, Mr. Prashant, they threw these smoke canisters inside the parliament. They physically attacked members of parliament and, watch and watch staff. That is akin to a terrorist attack.
Yes.
No, they have definitely been arrested, Zaka. Where did BJP shield them?
No.
BJP has never shielded them.
No. The question being asked by Lokesh is, why is Pratap Simha not an accused, just the same way as you are asking that Syed Nasir Hussain be made an accused in this case?
The Syed Nasir Hussain, first of all, did not condemn the statement and denied the existence of such a statement. And also, in fact, you talk to the local media here, they have abused the media and also stated that media has cooked the story up. So therefore, at every point in time, Syed Nasir Hussain's intentions have not been good.
Okay.
He did not bring them with good intentions.
Lokesh Jindal, I have a final minute to wrap up. Like I said, all the more reason why he should be extra careful, because I believe he's a close confidant of the Congress president. I think he's political secretary to the Congress president. Yes. All the more reason why he should be doubly careful of the people who he surrounds himself with.
And he's given the passes again in this case.
Lokesh.
It's an unfortunate incident. I would say it must be whenever dignitaries, member of parliaments, while issuing passes, while making sure that they are providing access to various individuals, care must be taken because it could be used by people with nefarious plans so as to bring about public instability and certain form of public mischief.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
condemn
I'm
this
completely out of
incident.
time. Thank you very much, Lokesh Jindal, GS Prashant, for joining us. We'll take a quick break here on the program. When we come back, after the shooting of the food convoy in Gaza last week, which led to over 100 people dead, now the US administration has resorted to airdropping food in the affected areas. But will airdropping of food ever be good enough or match up to food convoys or food trucks that can carry tons and tons of supplies, even as the chorus grows for a ceasefire, but none is there in the foreseeable future? Quick break, our deep dive right on the other side.
Presented by... She's a dancer, she's a philanthropist, she's a social worker, and now she's going to go head on against Asaduddin Owaisi in the old city of Hyderabad. Joining us now is Madhavi Lataji. Namaste, Jai Hind. Congratulations on being nominated. Your first thought, the first lady to be put up from that seat in many, many years, perhaps even in the records. Never has a woman contested from the old city, Hyderabad. Tough one or not, Madhaviji?
Because I'm born and brought up there, Anandji, so I definitely know the logistics there. I know the truth that is prevailing there. And I know the desperation of the people who are living in that constituency. So I just don't see any tough fight as such for myself there.
Well, you don't see a tough fight, but the numbers speak otherwise, Madhaviji. The seat dominated by the Owaisi, Salahuddin Owaisi, and then Asaduddin Owaisi since 1984. 2019 also had a victory of more than 230,000 votes.
I do agree, Anandji, but I would say that then I was just a kid. So I would only talk what is exactly today. Today, the perspective is that we cannot anymore take the religion as the X factor to win elections. The days have gone. People have modernized themselves. People have understood that religion is a very personal thing that keeps us always happy and wise to think for the better development of the nation. Agar Asad ji would continuously want to use that as his X factor to win, I am sure that that's no more the strength to really stand up for the old city as a constituency and Hyderabad as a old constituency.
But does the dynamics, do the dynamics in Telangana change with the Congress coming back into the fray given the recent Vidhana Sabha polls? Madhaviji, so is it a three-way fight now?
I would no more consider BRS because, as you rightly said, in 2023, in spite of power and money, everything, if they couldn't make it up there, I am sure that it's not possible anymore for them to do it in Hyderabad as Lok Sabha constituency because they have played no good role in ensuring the development of the constituency. For the number of years that they have really ruled here, have taken their role in or responsibility they should have been taken to uplift this particular constituency. They've abandoned it successfully with the sitting MP there. So now coming up to Congress, Congress has its own, the way we need to look at it as a party. Now this is a Lok Sabha seat. Congress at center is as good as TRS in the state today. So I don't see any reason why people should be opting for Congress when it comes to Lok Sabha. Now coming up with a third, I would tell you that I'll give you one more dimension to this. In 2023, there has been a very serious fall in the percentage of Muslim votes with AIMIM. At the same time, we also have seen there is a very good increase in entire Telangana, the voting percentage in BJP. While keeping this on one side, what is very important, all of us have to note that old city as Hyderabad constituency, because I'm sure this is going across the country. Entire nation needs to know one thing. Hyderabad as a Lok Sabha constituency is not Hyderabad as capital city. The capital city of Hyderabad has 3 constituencies with it, absolutely into the center of it as a capital city. Secunderabad, Malkajgiri and Hyderabad as a different Lok Sabha constituency which has 7 assembly constituencies within that.
Right.
And if you try to compare the old city Lok Sabha constituency with other 2 constituencies of Hyderabad as capital city, it is in a very pathetic stage.
But let's talk about...
Development far off. They are actually somewhere in time machine traveling 40 years back.
But let's talk about, you broke the Hyderabad into 3 constituencies, so let's talk about Old City. 7 assembly constituencies there, barring Raja Singh who holds fort in 1, the others are with the AIMIM. So how are you going to breach Old City?
It is going to be different this time because we are going to open up every fact that is behind the polling. The specific and a major reason that he has been winning continuously is because of the support from local government, that is a state government. If you can kindly observe, Anandji, all the years when he has won these elections, you never had BJP in the state. Please kindly note this point, BJP was never in the state.
Right.
So there was a very clear understanding between AIMIM and the ruling party. We have 1,996 polling booths, out of which a major chunk of booths are placed in such areas where it is very difficult for the Hindu voters to go and cast their vote. They have been repeatedly expressed this pain, but it has never been addressed. Now, second point, which is very, very important, the polling agents who've been deployed by BJP are always threatened. And we always find it very difficult, and we have no local government support on that. Now, third point, GHMC always has played a very notorious role in way back all the governments. Now with this government, we still have to check it. So, with way back governments, they always deleted Hindu votes.
Right.
And they helped on enrolling successfully couple of votes, more than one for Muslims.
Right.
I'll give you a 5th point. We have done statistics and worked on it. You have at places where more than 200 votes are there in a house, which is just not more than 100 square feet.
Right.
And we are going to bring all this into limelight, Anandji. So we exactly know that what war is this.
Well, you're calling it a war, and you're also making some very serious allegations about booth placement, vote tampering and misallocation, etc. So we'll wait for the proof very soon. But Madhaviji, how do things change? With the Hyderabad civic polls, the BJP came to the fore with a bang. But then with the Vidhan Sabha elections and the results, the Congress is in the mix. 17 seats across Telangana. How do you see the BJP's prospect?
Now, I would just first explain in detail how my constituency is going to work towards the elections. There are 3 things in this, Anandji. First thing is development.
Right.
Position of women in the constituency. How a Muslim woman, a Pasmanda woman, Pasmanda is a poor woman.
Poor woman.
That's how we it's addressed in the local language. The Pasmanda women here is in such a bad state. They have no voice here. The basic fundamental rights they cannot execute. Directive principles of state policy, the girl, or sorry, for any individual for that matter, should have at least.
The United States made its first airdrops of humanitarian aid into Gaza over the weekend. 3 US Air Force cargo planes airdropped 38,000 ready-to-eat meals. This was a joint operation with the Jordanian Air Force. The airdrops, some of the experts have criticized as being insufficient and largely symbolic. But the US government believes it contributes to significant ongoing American efforts to provide life-saving humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza. One of the US officials who briefed reporters on the operation, said that 66 pallets had been airdropped over Gaza. The officials said that the drop sites had been chosen in relatively safe areas where people are sheltering in and they are in desperate need of food as well as other essentials. The US did not coordinate this operation with Hamas or any other group that was on the ground. The operation was intended to be the first in a series of airdrops. The United States is also exploring other avenues of bringing in more aid into Gaza, including by the sea.
No excuses, because the truth is, aid flowing to Gaza is nowhere nearly enough. Now, it's nowhere nearly enough.
The airdrops came just a day after President Joe Biden said that America would find new ways to get aid to Palestinians who are in desperate need because of Israel's 5-month-long military campaign to destroy Hamas. It also comes 2 days after more than 100 Palestinians were killed as Israeli forces opened fire around a convoy of aid trucks in northern Gaza. That convoy disaster, which happened last Thursday, underscored the desperation among Palestinians in Gaza. It also equally illustrates that ground convoys, which Israel has allowed into Gaza, have not been able to provide enough relief. Airdrops by themselves have very limited reach and even effect. Airdrops cannot move supplies at the scale that convoys do. Even big military cargo planes like the C-130 Globemaster, which is one of the biggest military transport aircraft there is, it can only carry a fraction of the supplies that a line of trucks can carry. In addition, airdrops on the ground, it is difficult to secure them and to distribute them in an orderly way. But that's not the only problem with the airdrops. The shortage of supplies has been compounded by the fact that there is rampant lawlessness within Gaza. Criminal gangs are plundering this aid. They are selling it again back to desperate Palestinians for exorbitant prices most times. No group has sought to replace Hamas in those areas in Gaza where the active fighting has ended. Hamas has been vanquished in large parts of northern Gaza. There is no one there to enforce law and order. On Friday, the International Rescue Committee said that airdrops do not and cannot substitute for humanitarian access. The IRC has also urged Israel to reopen the border crossings in northern Gaza and to help let the aid flow in. While southern Gaza is still in an active conflict zone, the fighting has mostly stopped in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. The Israeli military defeated a bulk of the Hamas's fighting forces by early January. Now, many points in northern Gaza, including in Gaza City, have no law enforcement teams on the ground, neither from the Israeli side nor from the Palestinian side. Those areas lack a centralized body that can coordinate the provision of aid, enforce law and order, and protect these food aid convoys that keep coming there. To prevent Hamas from rebuilding itself, Israel has prevented those police officers who were associated with Hamas prior to the war. They have prevented them from putting feet on the ground. But Israel has also delayed the creation of any other alternative Palestinian law enforcement agency. This is one of the reasons why Benjamin Netanyahu's plan has been criticized, that there is no effective day after war plan which Israel has drawn up or agreed to. But there's also domestic politics at play in Israel. Benny